DNA, pancakes, and the first Gulf War are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is February 28th, 2023. It is the 59th day of the year. There are 306 days left in 2023. It is the 9th Tuesday in the 9th week and the 70th day of winter. You got 20 days left until spring. If today's your birthday, you are still a Pisces. Today is National Pancake Day, also known as National Johnny Cake Day, National Griddle Cake Day, and National Hot Cake Day. This batter-made breakfast item dates back more than 30,000 years. So a few years before IHOP opened. Side note, one of my nieces, she was very young, like 6 or 7, she thought IHOP invented pancakes. But they found types of pancakes all the way back into the Stone Age. No kidding, they pulled up a guy that had been frozen in the ice, he's known as the Iceman, and there was a pancake in his stomach. But they've been around for quite a long time in just about every form there is and almost every continent. The Greeks, the Romans, they had it. During the English Renaissance, pancakes were flavored with spices, rosewater, sherry, and apples. It's actually a big part of Ash Wednesday, well, sort of. Back around 1100 AD, they had this thing called Shrove Tuesday, which was the day before Ash Wednesday. It's also referred to as Fat Tuesday in other parts of the world, including the United States. It's a very popular feast day that's observed by eating all kinds of food. Anything with calories you can get in you, and pancakes are the preferred breakfast thing for Fat Tuesday, with all the syrup and toppings you want on it. All right. Let's see what else February 28th has given us. 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick announced to friends that they have determined the chemical structure of DNA. The formal announcement takes place on April 25th, following the publication in April's Nature magazine. Yes, we did start off today at 1953 because not a lot went on historically on February 28th. I mean, there's things like 1638, the Scottish National Covenant is signed in Edinburgh. There isn't a lot on this day. It's really strange. 1958, a school bus in Floyd County, Kentucky hits a wrecker truck and plunges down an embankment into the rain-swollen Lavisa River. I hope that's how you pronounce it. The driver and 26 children die sadly. This remains the worst school bus accident in U.S. history. The only positive thing about that is that was in 1958, and we haven't had one that's worse. Think of all the buses that go out every day during the school year all across the country, and there's incidents, but nothing as terrible as that. 1983, the final episode of MASH airs with almost 106 million viewers. It still holds the record for the highest viewership of a season finale. Now, for a long time, it was the highest viewership for anything, but I think a few Super Bowls have passed them by now. Like they had more viewership during that event, but yeah, now it's the largest viewership of a season finale, or actually was a series finale. 1991, the first Gulf War ends. Now, the first Gulf War ends, really, it should be called the Gulf War ends with unfinished business, because they didn't take care of what they really went there to do, and of course we had to go back to the Gulf again and kind of settle things. Now, there's all kinds of conspiracies as to why we went back and all that stuff, but originally, we had basically walked over the Iraqi military. And this is after Saddam Hussein said that he was going to show the world that the United States is just a paper tiger and all this, and he was just, all that bluster, and he was going to show the world, and he dared the United States to attack Iraq. We did. And the Iraqi military collapsed like a $5 massage table at a sumo wrestler's house. Well, the United States military and its allies pretty much went to the gates of Baghdad and decided to hold off there. Even though it was many years ago, we still had the thoughts of Vietnam. We didn't want a nation build and all that stuff, even though eventually we kind of started doing that. But one other thing, we had proven our point. Now, this is my opinion. We had proven our point to Saddam Hussein and all the other countries in the area that wished to do us harm. We proved our point without getting many people killed, at least on the U.S. side. Now, if we would have started pressing into Baghdad, things would change. If you know anything about the military, city fighting is one of the worst. You could take the best infantry in the world into an urban environment against a poorly trained, poorly equipped enemy, and you'll lose a lot of troops. Fighting in a jungle environment has a lot of the same problems. You're up against an enemy that knows the terrain or the layout of the land. There's too many places to hide, and they know them all. But yeah, The Gulf War ended on this day in 1991. 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms raids the Branch Davidian Church in Waco, Texas, or compound, whatever you want to call it, with a warrant to arrest the group's leader, David Koresh. The ATF agents and 6 Davidians die in the initial raid, starting a 51-day standoff. 2013, Pope Benedict XVI resigns as Pope of the Catholic Church, becoming the first pope to do so since Pope Gregory XII in 1415. One of those jobs you gotta die to get out of most of the time. Movies released on February 28th, 1997, Donnie Brasco. I am a little shocked about this one. I could have swore that was done like around 2005, 2010, 1997. Anyway, it's based on a true story. The film follows FBI agent Joseph D. Pistone, who goes undercover to break up the mafia, but he soon realizes that his new friend, Lefty, played by Al Pacino, will most certainly die once the job is complete. The film takes place in New York City during the 1970s. Now, Johnny Depp played Donnie Brasco, or Joe D. Pistone. This film grossed $124 million worldwide and was nominated for an Academy Award. It was a really good movie. It's one of those ones where you kind of get sucked into and you start really appreciating the characters. And I don't know, I wouldn't... You know, there's certain movies, when I know a movie is great, it's when I forget I'm in a theater. This one was almost there. Now, there's a few movies that I just completely forgot I was watching a movie. When the lights came up or it ended, I was like, what? Confused almost. And that was Star Wars, the original, Jaws, Forrest Gump. There's been a few others. This one was almost there. Born on February 28th, 1948, Bernadette Peters. I love Bernadette Peters. When I saw her in The Jerk, I thought she was the most amazing thing ever. Cute, great actress, adorable voice. She was great. She's a Broadway legend who won Tony Awards for her performances in Song and Dance in 1985, and in 1999, the revival of Annie Get Your Gun. Her numerous other Broadway credits include starring roles in Into the Woods, Sunday in the Park with George, and Gypsy. She's like one of those people I've always wanted to meet. Bernadette Peters entered show business at the age of 3 and had appeared on Juvenile Jury and Name That Tune before her 6th birthday. She made her Broadway debut as an understudy for the 1967 production of The Girl in the Freudian Slip. She actually dated Steve Martin from 1977 to 1981. He was her co-star in the movie The Jerk. She married Michael Wittenberg after that. Sadly, he died in a helicopter accident in 2005. I don't know, she's great. Died on February 28th, 2011, we lost Jane Russell. Star of the Howard Hughes directed film The Outlaw, she received additional fame for her roles in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Son of Paleface. She worked as a receptionist after graduating high school. In 1948, she played Calamity Jane alongside Bob Hope in the movie titled Paleface. She was known for, how do I put this, being top-heavy. She was one of those sex symbols of the day. When she was in the movie The Outlaw, Howard Hughes didn't feel that her features were sticking out far enough. So Howard Hughes invented the underwire bra. So yes, ladies, that horrible contraption, you have him to blame for that. Jane Russell died in her Santa Maria home on February 28, 2011. She died of a respiratory-related illness, it says. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.